Today I'm here to tell you the story of a little boy that knows exactly how not to behave in church. That little boy is my grandfather, Harold. My great-grandfather, Eamon, was a preacher back in the 1920s. His church was built for acoustics so that everyone could hear them because they didn't have any microphones back in the day. Eamon and my grandfather Harold had tried to convince Eamon's brother Steve to come to church for years. One day, they finally convinced him to come. On Sunday morning, Harold sat next to Steve on the wooden benches so that he would feel welcome in church. Little did Steve know, my grandfather was a mischievous little boy, and he already had an evil plan brewing in his head. The sermon began, and Eamon was preaching his head off. The crowd was going crazy, and Harold and Steve sat in the crowd eagerly listening. Later on in the message, a solemn moment came, and everyone went silent, paying attention eagerly. My grandfather took that as his cue. He broke the silence and let out a very loud fart everyone could hear. Eamon could hear this from the pulpit, and he glared back angrily at them. Now, my grandfather, not wanting to get in trouble, had covered his grin and pointed his finger at Steve so that to place the blame on him. Steve was so embarrassed that he stood up and ran right out of the sermon and never came back to church again. When they all got home, my grandfather said he received the worst beating of his life from Eamon for what he did. But to this day, my grandfather said that he would never forget when that happened. And the story lives on.